Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chroma Squad. Y'all remember the challenge that I said I was gonna do, right? Okay, let me turn the music off so you can probably hear me. Okay, I need y'all to hear what I'm about to say. Okay, because you all probably aren't ready to hear what I'm about to tell you. Okay, I am going to be playing through this game 7 times for one challenge. Okay, you heard me right. 7 whole times. At least. And here's where the at least part comes in. Well, actually, I'll probably explain to you why I need to play through a game a whole 7 times. At least. Okay. See, I got this wild idea in my head. And I'm going to tell you right now. Current me is wanting to freaking smack past me around quite a couple of times. And just for making freaking this. Well, it wasn't really a promise, but the other me is I tend to keep my words. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I get it done. It just kind of hurts me the fact that one of the games I said I was gonna play on this channel, I literally can't anymore. And what hurts me even more about that game is, in my opinion, that was a really fun game that. Yeah, there were 2 reasons why I couldn't continue playing it on the channel. It's one of my games. You need to go to my playlist section of those games, games and whatnot. I was eventually going to finish the 2nd chapter of the game because the game was Dice Tactics. They got removed from the Play Store. And more recent months, I guess, the Google Play has been a lot more active and removing games from the Play Store. Meaning if something is removed from the Play Store, it's not just removed from the developers' games or games published by the publisher, or games and that would find you search up. It's now also removed from my apps and game sections of people who've installed it previously. See, it used to be the Play Store never really removed games from people's my apps and game sections when they hadn't played, or they hadn't been removed, when they hadn't been played and whatnot. No. So if you had a game in your my apps and game section, and even if you hadn't installed Chroma, fine, uninstalled it later, it would still go back to your my apps and game section, and your my apps game section would allow you to basically categorize, or not categorize, but still access almost every single game that's ever been on the Play Store, or whether it's been removed or not. But in more recent years, I think they just started this year, and they started actually removing games from not just the ability to be searched, to be found in general, but also they were removing them from people's my apps and game section, which is why I can't continue the Soda Dungeon, which is why I wasn't able to continue the Soda Dungeon series, which is also why, well, at the time of this recording, it was today when I uploaded it, but the time when I actually recorded it was yesterday. Yeah, I'll admit, okay, I know when I recorded that video that I uploaded Saturday last week, that I said I might end up spending the last couple of days for the weekend officially started, just getting a couple of recording sessions in. Yeah, that didn't happen. Thank God that was a might and not a I will. That is interesting saying I might, I may, or I just will, you know what I mean? Maybe might, 100%. If I say I'm gonna do something, if I say I maybe will do something, or I might do something, there's no guarantee, but if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. And I said I was gonna do this challenge of playing through Chroma Squad at least 7 times. But Either way, time to get this train back on track. Basically, I have to play through one of the 3 different endings of this game 5 times. Okay. In which case, I will then proceed to play through the other 2 endings. Okay, if you don't know, Chroma Squad is a game with 3 different endings. I know how to get all 3 of them. Sad part is all 3 endings are decided from the actions you can take in essentially a single battle. Okay. One of the endings, which is the ending we'll have to get 5 times, requires you to actually defeat both enemies, well, both like quote unquote permanent enemies in the fight, you know. Meanwhile, the other 2 endings require you to not defeat one of the 2 specific enemies, and instead they'll give you a choice that will dictate which ending you go for. Okay. These 3 endings have been given nicknames through the community and whatnot. These are the ones that I choose. There's the Night Driver route, the Metal Warrior route, and the Sixth Ranger route. That's what I call them. Okay. And the ending and the route that we have to go through a whole 5 times is the Night Driver route. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you right now, for this challenge, there is no availability of just going like new game every time. Meaning, I have to use like actual new game plus. Okay. So yeah. 100% it's gonna get harder and harder every single new run after the first, which is why I'm gonna have to force myself to play on the easiest difficulty. Okay, I have to play on the easiest difficulty, because if I don't, then we're probably never gonna get the end of the series. And here's the thing, I'd rather start on the easiest difficulty than like go straight up to nightmare mode or whatever the hardest difficulty is called, and then lower it down with each every couple of runs of the game, every couple of new game pluses. It's better we start on easy, that way we're not just dragging on the beginning and everything stays roughly the same speed. I want you guys to actually realize how much harder it gets when I am genuinely struggling to beat the fucking casual difficulty. Okay. So yeah. It's like 8 minutes of me just giving you guys and I want to let you guys know, okay? I have told myself I would do this. And the thing for me is, I keep my words. I'm a man of my words, okay? Even if those words are to myself. I gotta stop saying shit, man, you know what I mean? I told my brother, no, I'm telling you all. And this is why there's an at least added to the 7 runs that I do. Okay. Tell myself, if this series does well enough, I'm willing to do an 8th run of the save file and whatnot, Because not only the first run is going to be just regular new game. Every run after that is new game plus of the same original game and whatnot. Well, technically the first new game plus is a new game plus of the original new game. Every new game after that is a new game after that. So, the point still stands. It's simply the same save file, even if it isn't the exact same save data. Excuse me. So yeah. And you guys wonder, well, what's good enough? It's just a simple judge of you have enough of one like. That's the thing, okay? 100%, I'm not asking for much. I just want 100 views and 100 likes. Because I'm gonna ask for both views and likes. I'm not gonna ask for anyone to comment on any of my videos. Comment whatever the hell you want, I don't care. Hey, I can dislike the video if you want. Just know, dislikes aren't gonna count towards getting an 8th run of me suffering. And just a heads up, the 8th run, yeah, that's gonna be continuing of the New Game Plus. Meaning, it will be suffering. Oh yeah, I will be suffering. And if you're wondering what story, because here's the thing, what I planned is for the first 5 runs, we're gonna do the night driver route. That is because this challenge requires me to get 5 night cyclones, which is the weapon of choice of the night driver, which is which you get by doing the night driver route. I need to get 5 of them. And the reason why I need to get 5 of them is because I plan to do the entire rest of the route. Usually on the 5th, with each run of the night driver route, before the mission where my teammates get kidnapped, I'm going to make sure, or like, because obviously the first run of the game, the first day file, no one's gonna have a night cyclone. But on the first New Game Plus, every game after first, myself's gonna carry to have the night cyclone for the entirety until the mission right before they would get another night cyclone. In which case, I'm then going to equip their night cyclone to one of the other characters. I'm likely gonna start with the leader character and just work my way down from there. With my down, I don't mean like left or right or anything. Now I'm saying whatever I think is more kind of important and whatnot. Yeah. Point is though, it's gonna be a long series. There's gonna be like a bunch of, I'm gonna get a night cyclone for each of the characters and whatnot, and they're just gonna like pass around the bikes, I guess. These guys are gonna get their own motorcycle, and those motorcycles are the only weapons we're allowed to use for the entirety of like the rest of the games. So once I equip someone who isn't an assault with a night cyclone, they're stuck with the night cyclone unless they swap with someone else's night cyclone. I might keep this a random sword, weapon, or gun, just like use like maybe swap around night cyclones as I see fit. But other than that though, they're all stuck with their night cyclones. And they ain't getting any other weapon. I just like swap night cyclones around because I don't really know if New Game Plus affects weapons like the night cyclone. Meaning like for each New Game Plus, each time we get another one, if it's actually a generally better one and whatnot. Okay. Besides, so it takes us like 13 minutes so far, almost about to be 14. Just to let you all know that like basically we all do a night cyclone. And just as of this, maybe the first session of recording, but it's really just in like an episode 0. Oh, my bad. You always heard a lot of bang noise. Yeah, I was tripped over something in my living room. Yeah. Sister leaving her shoes out. Oh gosh, darn walkway. Either way, this is just an episode 0. I tend to give you all this little talk about the challenge and whatnot. The terms and conditions of you guys get every single video in this series. We're starting with this one, episode 0, because it's still gonna have level gameplay and whatnot. You get all the videos up to essentially 100 likes and obviously 100 views. I mean, obviously, if 100 people liked it, 100 people viewed it. That's 100 views, 100 likes. And you do that every single video. Oh, throughout the series, and I will do the 8th run, okay? But just know, just because you're doing every series at the time, doesn't mean you're done everything. Meaning and just heads up, there's not going to be a deadline on that 8th one. Now don't get me wrong, obviously you're not going to be able to view or like a video that hasn't been released yet, you know. So like, once I do the last video, the last like recorded episode of Chroma Squad of the final episode of like the Chroma Squad kind of show, this in-game last level, like it's probably called, this recording session, and basically want to defeat the final boss for the 7th time, and we watch like the credits, or like an after credits scene or whatever. Basically, yeah, we are going to essentially, how do I say this properly? Well, basically just going to, I'm just gonna like sit back and watch these videos and go along, you know? I'm going to essentially, I'm basically just gonna like watch these videos, keep track of their views, of their likes and all that stuff. And once they've gotten to 100 views and 100 likes, then I will start recording the 8th run of the game, which will be the 7th new game plus after the first save out or first mission. So, yeah, this is just the message I wanted to give before actually hopping in for the proper, essentially episode 0 is what I'm gonna call this. Okay. This is just when you're not gonna actually do it when the visual recording episodes. We're just gonna play through as essentially the tutorial and pick our characters, acquire the studio, name our studio and whatnot. And name our characters potentially, I don't know. We might just go for the default names as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I'm gonna put the music back on. So we got some tones and whatnot, we got some ambience, whatever the music decided to do. Right about there should be good. Over here. Yeah, see, I have heroic difficulty unlocked, okay. But trust me, we need to stick with casual for this. Yeah, I can read this now. Once upon a time, the TV studio just like any other. Are we gonna get any more dialogue or what? Summer Rangers, it's time for all Sunmen to get in the scene. I do it. Hurry up! By the way, I already know what characters I'm gonna pick for these guys, so if you want, I can just go and do the voices again. And where are the minions? I feel like a lot of people don't really read shit with like actual like proper like cadence, like dialogue and whatnot. I was thinking about doing like a call out post on YouTube, just like a video calling out this one specific YouTuber, because dude was like basically criticizing dialogue in a book, supposedly, because, you know, I'll just eventually do the video and it'll be a random pop-up thing and then you guys will know what I'm talking about. But I'll give you a hint. The YouTuber's name rhymes with Fatuatric. Yeah. There we go. All set for this part. Facts will come later.
I guess we're lacking some story, huh?
Yeah, but Dr. Soap doesn't enjoy it that much. I'm trying to think. Yeah, and I already told you guys I already knew what like the characters I want to pick for these actors and whatnot. Just heads up, this character was gonna be, so the assault is gonna be played by Mr. Beaver, and I'm trying to think what kind of voice would he have. Being a sentient beaver. And if you're wondering what voice I was giving the leader, or was the leader role, I was gonna give that was basically an alien voice. I decided to give the alien just the fucking, essentially kind of like
Nerdy boys, a little bit nasally up throaty, nerdy boys.
more in the nasal and whatnot. Pretty good with vocal manipulation, so I can even make myself sound in the deep. Oh, I can be high. It's just high pitch, it's working with the pitch. My voice, and the best part is, I don't even need no filters or anything. Best part is, this is not even recording software. I can even make myself sound like Luigi. Wahoo! Actually, Wahoo sounded more like Mario, but I don't know why. I can do like the random Mario voice clips, but I can only genuinely talk in a Luigi voice. And it helps me to do my Luigi voice if I just like right before I do it, I just do like the fucking Italian gibberish that's in the Mario and Luigi type games. Which is funny, because the reason why I can do my Luigi voice so like perfectly and whatnot is because of how much I played Mario Luigi Dream Team. I'm not kidding, that game was my first ever, not just introduction to the Mario series, that game was my introduction to the gosh darn 3DS. Okay. I played that game before 2DS's existed. That game was my first ever 3DS game. Yeah. And the fun fact about me, there are 2 game franchises, 2 game series that were contained on the 3DS. Well, they're not contained, but they were on the 3DS. They had games within the series on the 3DS. And somehow, for both of those series, there's like 2 series, I, according to most fans of the series, kind of got the worst games within the series. And while I will admit, the one game that I got that was the worst of the 3DS, that's the one that was my first ever 3DS game. While I will admit, in more recent years, 2 of the original games got a remake, and the game that came out after, the first non-remake, definitely didn't get probably got more hate than the original verse. But 100% people still don't like Dream Team for some reason. And to be honest, I think I understand why I don't like it. But one thing I think is funny, both this game and the other game series that my introduction to, which almost kind of considered the worst one, both of them are hated for the same reason. And to be honest, even as someone who was introduced to these series through these games, even I will admit, even as the target for why the reason they're hated even exists, as the reason behind the reason, even I'll admit, damn bro, we need to turn off the damn tutorial dialogue and whatnot. I mean, yeah, I'll admit, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, it isn't all tutorial, but all tutorials are forced. And there's still a miles long worth of dialogue. I once sat through the credits of one of my 2 Pokemon copies. Yeah, my introduction to Pokemon gaming, because I'll admit, my introduction to Pokemon in general was the Gen 1 anime. Pokemon Indigo League. Yeah, 100%, I understand what the Gen 1ers are talking about, dude. I actually agree with the Gen 1ers about Gen 1 being peak, but But when I talk about Gen 1 being peak, I'm talking about the anime, not the games. Don't get me wrong. Gen 1 games, solid. Like, you could build a house on that shit. That's a good foundation. Okay. It's because of the Gen 1 games that we have what we have today. Yeah, I admit, what we have today definitely don't hit as hard. You know, me personally, when I judge a game whether or not a game is good, I don't do it by today's standards. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you should never like compare a game to something that came out after it to define whether or not it's good or bad. That being said, if you're comparing something like, Marvel CGI, and whatnot, then like how it's gotten like worse in more recent years, then 100% compare it to its past. Compare its past to its future, That part's okay, but if you're comparing something like Pokemon, like in a games, where things aren't just like, oh yeah, it's just a budget cut, Yeah, Pokemon hasn't always been like really AAA or anything. But it's always been like front of the high, It ain't not being triple front of the alphabet, but it's it's definitely front of your heart and mind, soul, Pokemon is something a lot of people love, That's why there's so many like Pokemon fan games and whatnot. And that's why there's so many games trying to capitalize on the Pokemon aesthetic. That's why we got games like Chroma, like Rick and Morty Pocket Mortys, games like Nexomon, all those games, Yeah. That's why we got games like this. Pokemon like inspired these games. Just gonna say that Pokemon's mostly handled by Nintendo, and they tend to not be the most like trustworthy when it comes to like random people to handle their content and whatnot. And in my opinion, I honestly think Nintendo games are okay. A lot of my favorite games growing up were on Nintendo. Okay. Oh man, my first actual game console that I ever played on was actually with PS1. I felt like different PS1s don't have them anymore, My first Nintendo console was either my original DS with the Game Boy Advance kind of cartridge slot, or it was my GameCube with my Game Boy Advance attachment. So yeah. And while I don't have the GameCube anymore or the Game Boy Advance attachment, I do in fact still have the disc required for the GameCube to be able to actually play GameCube or like Game Boy Advance games. Which I kind of hate we got rid of that when we moved into our current house. That house you guys saw me recording in with that couch and whatnot when I was recording my 2DS and whatnot. The Metopia playthrough. Which don't worry, I remember I promised I would bring that. I'll eventually get back into playing Metopia again. And don't worry, I'm not going to play on the Switch version until I finish the 3DS version on YouTube. And even if I did want to play the Switch version, I can't afford a Switch right now. I'm broke. This YouTube channel ain't monetized right now. I am 100% broke. I'm broke. I got no money, no dollar bills, at most a couple of coins. Because I'll find them in the laundry or the couch cushions. Because while my parents don't pay me to do stuff around the house pays me to do stuff around it. So yeah, house pays pretty decently. I'm happy enough to get paid, if I'm being honest. If I do only have a couple of coins. Here's my philosophy. If we're gonna work for peanuts, at least make sure the chocolate covered. You know what I'm saying? You Even if you're really gonna go for bottom of the barrel, at least make sure it's not actually touching the bottom of the barrel. Still got. I figured by the time I finished talking about stuff, likely to have thought of a voice for the beaver. In fact, I'm gonna do like a general goofy cartoon voice. We're just getting out of it. They're getting really boring. I'm kind of tired of it. Yeah. Stop talking while we're recording. I don't have more should I remind you? Alright, I think I'm doing the wrong voice on my map section. That's for a tap to either walk or choose monsters you want to attack. I defeat 3 enemies. I know that music. Yeah, so I'll just be real. There by the voices. Okay, so you already know it's not gonna be a beaver and the wheels gonna be alien, but you haven't told me of the guess. Who's going to think they are gonna be? Let's see those gifts for you. I just gonna weird things now. Always weird things. Not really attack this guy. I've become double team. Oof. Damage. So switch to pink. And just check pink attack. And one of the best I've seen so far in this season. Yeah.
He always says that as long as you're defeating the monsters really early.
I heard you! Now I want to make acrobatics. And answer explosions in them later. Yeah. What kind of... Let me finish story. Jeez. So you're the teamwork to do. I told people man so they can move further. Yeah, I think I've been doing this entire time. Yeah, that's a really something. Yeah. Well, and I'll point that out once this guy's doing his dialogue box. If you don't, so don't get a word I said. Use teamwork. Now that telephone belongs to you. Okay, you notice the guys in the chairs behind, what's his name? I forgot. I think it's Dr. Soap in the old version, but the other version he was called like Miha or whatever, or Mia. Which I forget, one of those is like a reference to someone who like tried to supposedly sue the game or whatever during its creation, because I guess Cyclone would be like a Power Rangers ripoff or whatever. So they made like the director that the characters are running from, I guess, or like, you know, kind of avoid when it says to sue them later on and whatnot. I guess they try to make it as like, essentially they tried to make it as, they changed the name to make it a reference to that person. Yeah, but you notice in the chairs behind him, the person in the pink shirt, the person next to it, the person between the person in the orange shirt and the white shirt, and I believe also maybe the person whose head is sticking up over the text box, who seems to just look like kind of down, like straight ahead, now he's looking straight, and now he's looking down, his head's right above the text box, more or less, moving. I think those might be like characters based on like the directors or whatever Here's a game preview. I forget, they're the developers of this game. Because I actually recognize those like outfits and whatnot, and like the character stylings from my time playing Knights of Pen and Paper Plus 1 edition. I believe they're just the developer characters. They're the developers like self-intro style characters too. Let me just secure the box. Yeah, dude's definitely wearing the exact same outfit.
We are ready.
Yeah, I see him better now. That is definitely meant to be him. Only Solo himself. Guy, how the fuck is that name? I don't know. I never met the guy. I don't know where they're from. I don't know the dialect. Ready to. I'm gonna get like random voices on there. I mean, probably not random enough to just throw in a random movie. Yeah, see, you're just gonna see like a Solo, and I can try to line up the between black and gray. Yeah, you scroll down, and the guy right down the side. The orange shirt person and the white shirt. And the person I don't really recognize. I don't look exactly like. I'm trying to see if I can notice anyone else in the crowd. You see, in Knights of Paper, there's only 5 characters. Here's the other characters. Because I guess they wanted to make it somewhat possible for them to realistically be using like 5 different classes and whatnot. There is one thing I was thinking about doing on my channel eventually. The problem though is, well, I wanted to do it for like 2 of the games in the series. And the thing is, I wanted to do it on like, for the second game I wanted to not do it. I wanted to do it on a specific version. But as far as I know, I don't really have a problem recording it. So like, I don't know, I have to figure it out in reality. I mean, there was one point where I tried to do, there is a way I might be able to record, but like, if I remember correctly, there's a point in time where I used the thing that would allow me to record it, and it made it so I permanently could not play the game anymore until I factory reset, meaning completely wiped clean everything on the computer. I factory reset the entire laptop that I was playing on, which is kind of hard to think about because I had that laptop for fucking years. Hey, even after I factory reset, hey, even after I glitched the game, I had it like for years. I've gotten like tons of more games. I had Steam, I had Game Store. I had a bunch of games on there and whatnot. Yeah, I was going to say Steam Cloud, but some of them weren't. Like, I even had a nice wallpaper that I no longer have anymore on the laptop. I mean, don't get me wrong though. I think it was better to go through that than I'm going to my actual laptop with now, where I can't charge it. For some reason, it just stopped charging and whatnot. And because the battery randomly disconnecting, and even if it didn't randomly disconnecting, it drains like sugar. You fail. Yellow, get yellow, teamwork on yellow. Go to blue, target top guy, and target this guy with pink. And there you go. Got the trigger instructions, and now black and red just do whatever the heck they want. So I know it's time to target these guys. And you target the closer one. Because it's generally just the fastest way to get through this mission. Yeah. God! Another perfect scene! Be glad I'm here to tell you what to do all the time. No, we are not glad. Huh. It's right there. Oh, it's fine, sweetie. Oh boy. Now, show the audience some more teamwork. More team. I know how it works. Back of me. So it's using teamwork next. I trust you guys won't hurt me. Actually, certain locations. And not hit too. I should hit too much on these guys. Not here because that's why this can work on red. Because here. Oh, there's red. I'm gonna be a triple. Fun fact, at one point I learned that apparently if you get this part in the tutorial and you actually have like one person attack with like 2 others instead of just a person attacking with 1 other doing it actually like doesn't count. Great job! Keep it like that! I'm loving this! Move now! Boss can help right into the set. And this is why I had them all lined up over there. Where's that big girl in the monster ship? Here's how you are going to do this. A memory training will form you adjacent to the monster in teamwork. And then attack the monster. Everyone around will help you out. Then what we call finish him off. Why are you saying all these things again? We've done this so many times already.
You just like telling people what to do, I guess.
I'm also off when you're just finishing move. I need the 5 of you to do it together.
I mean, we play on before you for the finishing move. Let's see all the audience will enjoy it.
I never want to hear you say, I want. Not really big move. I'd like to finish with the actual leader. No, why you say no, I could just turn. It's done. Splendid! Now for the grand finale. I know the monster explosion. I'm not going with them voices, I'll be honest. It's sad because the characters went to be yellow. It's going to be like a female character from my team. If I'm being honest, I tried to add like the most like diverse character picks and whatnot, and you may have picked up on that by the voices that I was doing and whatnot, or maybe you didn't. I mean, I'll admit, I mentioned the alien and the beast. I didn't mention anyone else. Here you're about to hear all of the talks, and maybe you can guess the voices and guess the characters all likely play. Hey! See with this song. Let you just sit in your chairs. We starting to work to do recording. Yeah, and now that I actually have the perfect lineup of talking about the actors. Yep, the guy on the far left, that's definitely the GUI guy or whatever, you know. And the one on the far right, yeah, that's definitely Solo. Or how you say his name. The guy in the center left, which is the one in purple shirt, far left. Orange, whatever, middle left. The guy From right I am, well, from right where we're facing, that's center left. Then it's center right, middle right, and far right. Yeah, that's how I'm ordering this. So I definitely remember the far right, far left, and center left. But the other ones, I don't know, I don't really recognize them for several reasons. Yeah, the guy in the center left, it's Beto, or Beto, or whatever, I don't remember, man. I got like a horrible memory. The thing about me is, I got like a very good photographic and even quite honestly a videographic memory. The problem is, whatever segment of my brain is handling my photographic and videographic memory seems to be the same side of my brain that handles sleeping. And the reason why I say that is because if you didn't know this, apparently the side of your brain that handles like your dreams and whatnot is the only side that's supposed to be active in your dreams and whatnot. And it's also the side of your brain that, and it's also the opposite side of your brain that handles your ability to read and whatnot. Meaning, if you were in a dream and you just opened a book, you know, like a newspaper or something, you likely wouldn't be able to read it. Yeah, you might see letters or even numbers, but you're not gonna know what any of them are. Or at least what they're meant to be, because they're not really going to die to anything specific. It's just, yeah. Not only that, but also my videographic memory does not be able to play audio, and sometimes videographic memory and photographic memory can always have an RGB kind of style of effect on most things that don't have a defined color. And if you're always not like a defined color in all the memories around it. Like for instance, clothing is something that changes daily on a lot of people. Which is why, even for something like a pattern on clothes, yeah, I remember your clothing likely had no sleeves or long sleeves or short sleeves, but I'm not gonna remember the color. You know, it really depends like the memory and essentially and what the weather was at the time of that memory. And what the person normally wears and that style of weather. Like for instance, me, I tend to wear winter pajamas and more in the summer. Because my family thinks it's a good idea to blast the freaking AC in the summer to the point where I go outside, I had to get cooked, to come inside and the meal got frozen. I swear, you probably get a colder drink if you let that out in the middle of the room than if you put it in the freezer. And, I mean, yeah, I'll admit I'm exaggerating a little, but not by much. You may notice, okay, you'll probably hear my footsteps as I'm walking through this house, because the floorboards do be a little creaky. And you also notice how fast they're going and whatnot. Fun thing about me, I'm tall as fuck, and a lot of that height comes from my legs, okay? So I'm not just moving my legs a couple of steps. Well, I mean, if I'm not moving my legs like very that distance, it's because I'm actually moving my legs pretty quickly. The thing on me is, I have ADHD. Okay. ADHD. And the thing is, I was prescribed or I was diagnosed with ADHD back around the time where ADHD actually meant ADHD. And if you don't know what I mean by that, search up ADD. Okay. See, my brother, luckily for him, he was also diagnosed with his mental affliction at the time where ADHD was still just ADHD, and what he actually has wasn't also ADHD. It was just ADD. Everyone knows what ADHD is. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. What ADD is the exact same thing as minus hyperactivity. And you may not realize it, but yeah, maybe the acronym is just minus one letter and the words for it are minus one, but in reality, it's more than just the minus differences. Okay. Yeah, it is more than just a simple subtraction of a thing. If anything, ADD is worse than ADHD when it comes to the ability to focus. My brother, you cannot have a conversation with my brother and still know what the topic is. My brother doesn't pay attention to any conversation where he's participating or not. You can literally have proof of something right in front of the station, bro, he won't even pay attention. And it's not even just he covers you in such a life. No, bro just literally zones the fuck out. Fun fact, I've had ADHD since I was born, and I've been on all medications. I believe I've taken Adderall, something called methylphenidate, called methylphenid. I've taken Concerta. I've taken nearly every different ADHD medication I could, okay? And I've taken all of them on some really high dosage. And my ADHD has always been stronger than the medication. Not only that, but I notice, and it happens more when I get into the topic of the conversation, but sometimes I know I tend to talk really fast, and for a long amount of time. And the thing is, for me, my talking isn't that fast. I hear it at a normal speed. But for everyone else, they don't even know what I'm saying. I'm on the bet none of you all can realize I'm talking. And when I do slow my voice down, I normally have to try to remove most of the emotion within my voice. And my parents seem to not realize that I roll the emotion in them and talking quite slowly. According to them, I'm talking at a reasonable speed. But when I talk as slow as they deem reasonable, I feel like I am talking to them in a way that would be considered demeaning. Okay. Which to me, I sound like the character who's meant to be a scientist trying to communicate with an intelligent life form from somewhere outside of Earth. That scientist is immediately assumes that because the life form is not from Earth, that it supposedly doesn't know English. And that same scientist is always responded to by some response from the creature, or whatever, from where it came from. That simply boils down to, wow, I see, these are really the finest minds this planet has. Something along the lines of referring to the quote-unquote scientist as a moron or whatever. So, yeah. I feel like someone's about to question my intelligence when I slow down my talking. The problem though is no one is questioning my intelligence. I feel I am being demeaning with my voice. I am dehumanizing who I am talking to, which is why I will occasionally talk a little robotically and try to remove emotions from my words. That way, it sounds a little less demeaning and a little less dehumanizing. I rather dehumanize myself than the person I am talking to. Because as far as I am concerned, I am not human. And with the way civilization is going, especially here in America, yeah, human is the last thing I want to be. But sadly, it is what I am. So, yeah, I am screwed. Either way, back to doing voices on the internet while playing a video for episode 0. Okay. Which are we talking? Oh, boom, boom. And besides, this is so silly. We always record in the studio. We should go places outside and see different places. Besides, whoa, people, our show's not that bad. I'm listening.
I can't leave running around studio. Oh my, this is the perfect idea.
Count me in. I'm there right now. The guy was scared. Yeah, I don't know. Beeves. I don't know my fucking voice. My bad. My bad. Give Beeves the wrong voice. I'm talking just being like from Beeves to Mr. Beeves, because he is Mr. Beaver, not just Beaver. You forget this.
Have fun meeting these video names that on the work and result.
Bye, Jack. It's pretty reasonable. That's really voice for character. That's my best work. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still can't do feminine voices. I don't know, I got some like African American twang, you know, whatever the hell you would call it. You know, I had the exaggerated swagger of a black. It wasn't a teen, but it was all black. And yes, that is just a reference to a freaking stupid internet article or whatever video. Freaking talking about Miles Morales Spider-Man. In my opinion, all the Across the Spider-Verse stuff, I feel it should have been handled as like the regular series instead of a movie series. 100%. I believe it would have been better to get like a Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse style series rather than just a movie series. Could you imagine that? Like, that'd be freaking awesome. Like, yeah, there's some limitations and whatnot for like Parker stuff, but like still, imagine doing like a series where it's just like an episodic adventure of Miles helping out the other Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse and whatnot. Tell me you wouldn't want to watch that without lying, because like obviously you can say anything as long as if you're lying about it. I'm just saying untruthfully tell me, or not untruthfully, unlyingly tell me. Oh, honestly. Okay. I was thinking. I think it's just sis. So. Okay.
Oh, and please stop being so mean to your employees.
You don't care. Yeah, I mean. When I hear ... it really depends on what comes before the ... what I said. At least there's a search at the door. The Sun Man met a moment later, still dressed in their old studio's spandex suits. They talked about how they could start their own studio and record their first episode. After a few minutes, an idea popped up.
My uncle
has a warehouse not far from here. We could use it. Yeah, I was thinking this voice down. The Blue is supposed to be played by one of the Kickstarter backer characters and whatnot. I'm not gonna tell y'all which one until it's time to select. I'll leave y'all in the dark.
Alright, now going to be nice start.
It might just be what we need. Let us go there. Oh, let's go there now. That's right. No. Here's this. Yeah, here's this. Here's the fact that I actually have to remember them by colors. That's strictly for now. And we're changing the colors when we actually existed. Arriving at the warehouse, everyone got excited, very excited because of its size. I mean, it is a little big, not that big. My warehouse, something you gotta think though, we're also not seeing the whole warehouse. There's that one wall. And how they could take advantage of all that available space. I wonder how that like chiseled whatever is on that like table. I saw that if I were there a monkey or like a person, but I don't fucking know, man. It's just kinda is this thing hiding behind one of those boxes? Okay, I don't have really a way of pointing it out unless like hold on. Isn't there like a oh yes there is. Oh my god, I forgot. Can I actually draw? Yeah. There I just circled something. Yeah, there's something like right there. I don't know what the hell it is, but yeah. I forgot I could do that with this recording software. I forgot that wasn't one of like the premium features or whatever. Hold on. Oh my god, that's actually like 2 different videos. I'm gonna get rid of that real quick. Turn it off. I haven't drank water in a while. I mean, I haven't really drank anything in a while. I mean, thinking I mostly drink water anyways. Yeah, tap water in Oklahoma. So a lot of the first time I go to places, I drink the tap water. I know that's the one thing they tell you not to do, but like, tap water is my preferred drink of choice. Okay? I've been drinking tap water for years. I'll be honest, my body's so used to just eating low quality stuff that I once had undercooked pizza from a place. And while 2 of my family members got food poisoning, I got to finish their pizza. That being said though, that undercooked pizza, the only reason I'm not saying where I got that pizza from is because I'm willing to bet they could use like the exact like, because all I will say is though, it's a pizza place that that time that we got that, I believe was the only time we ever ordered from there. So it was both the first, so the 2 pizzas we ordered were the first and last 2 pizzas we ever ordered. And simultaneously, I forgot the reason why it was just me and my nana and papa eating them. is because, well, my brother and sister and my mom and dad were at trick-or-treating or whatever, because it was Halloween. And obviously, since both my Nana and Papa were alive at the time, it was early it was definitely before 2021, because my Papa got hospitalized in like, basically around the time school was starting in 2021. Yeah, and he died of COVID. So yeah. And my Nana, she died the following year, kinda as summer break was starting and whatnot. And but one of the saddest things about her death, in my opinion, is the way she acquired the thing that kind of killed her and whatnot. Due to the fact that I feel like, because she died due to complications with a spinal injury that she acquired from doing something. Well, not exactly doing something, but something happened on her way to do something. And I gotta mention something before I talk about how she got the spinal injury and whatnot. I have to mention something. She had rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, you know what arthritis is? It's the swelling of the joints. If you don't know what the rheumatoid part means, welcome to the club. All I know is it's some version of arthritis, okay? And supposedly it's worse than regular arthritis. Okay. Yeah, but she got a spinal injury on her way to the bathroom. And I need y'all to do me a solid favor and just not laugh at this and take my word for it, okay? I don't need, and trust me, I don't want to hear people fucking laughing about how I got this spinal injury. Because multiple reasons. One, she got this spinal injury basically led to her dying, okay? And two, I still kind of blame myself for it happening and whatnot. Yeah, I'll admit, I did everything good. I'm being honest, if I was there, I felt I could have, if I was there in the room, I feel I could have prevented it and whatnot, you know? I'll admit, I ain't fully to blame, but I do feel like at least partially to blame, you know? And when I say I don't feel fully to blame, I'm not trying to place any of the blame on like Nina for like, you know, not calling for someone to help her get to the bathroom because she had to walk with a cane and whatnot until we get to the bathroom most of the time. Someone had to be in the room with her to actually help her get to the bathroom as well. So anytime she wanted to leave the house, she had to go in a wheelchair. She just generally couldn't really walk very far because it really hurt her to do so. Almost any movements hurted her. And he said though, even with her with others, I always give her like back rubs and whatnot, and she loved my back massages. She loved me giving her my back and whatnot. I get good back rubs according to my arthritis written so. And if y'all want to know the secret to a really good back rub, you actually want to use the back of your hand. See, most people focus on using the palm to drive force and like shift around. Either that or to use the fingertips and they like wheel to kind of like wheel the area around it. But in reality, what you really want to do is use the back of your fingers. You want to curl your finger like into almost like a fist. Then you want to like at the base knuckle, at the knuckle of the base finger, you want to like essentially, just like almost like halfway between like fully up and like fully like in fist mode, like about to punch stuff, like halfway within that area. And you want to like wiggle your fingers, but in like a wave kind of way. So like similar to how in a lot of movies, how a character is bored will just tap their fingers on a desk. but they'll do it with like a wave where like they'll start with the pointer and then they'll like do each individual finger down towards the pinky. You want to wiggle your fingers exactly the same way, like each finger individually, okay? And doing this while also like turning your wrist a little bit to kind of help with the motions. It feels really good. Okay. I actually once did it to myself, both hands on both sides of my back. And fun fact, I can actually touch every single spot on my back with one hand tied to the front of my body. Because obviously, you know, with the hand tied behind my back, obviously that hand can touch my back. So like, I'm saying though, I only need one hand on one arm to touch every single spot on my back. Okay. And no, I'm not missing any limbs, and my limbs are prosthetics, so I can't just take a prosthetic off and do it. Yeah, no, I mean, I genuinely have actual like arm length to reach every single spot on my back. I can scratch my armpit with the same hand, with the hand on the arm that belongs to the armpit belongs to. So yeah. I can even stretch my shoulders and whatnot. I can really grab my arm with the hands attached instead of arms. Yeah, I got pretty good motions. Anyway, back to reading. They were looking around and thinking about camera positions. So you gotta have good camera positions. See, as someone with a graphic design class, or graphic design and digital marketing combo, I'll tell you a good majority of what I learned was essentially photography and cinematography. Always a small portion of it. I learned how to get good angles with a camera and whatnot. How to handle things like ISO, exposure, all that stuff. So yeah. So I'm out there right now, I can already tell there's some pretty good angles and whatnot. 100% the light coming from the ceiling, they have like the broken tiles and whatnot. 100% that's actually some good like lighting for like a spotlight picture potentially. Whether or not the little, oh my god, the person, the little thing I circled earlier, I didn't realize that apparently it's a person. Dude, just took a picture. When someone has spotted something. A huge pillar at the very center of the warehouse, covered in some sort of dirty bed sheet. I don't know what beds you're sleeping on, but that's a pretty big sheet. Yeah. I mean, this coming from someone who's 6'5", standing straight up, with no shoes on. And there's no reason why I clarify, like standing straight up and no shoes on. That's because I tend to wear shoes that add about an inch, and I also slouch a lot, which definitely subtracts more than an inch. Yeah, but I know that, but I'm pretty sure I might have grown since my latest appointment. I don't really know. I haven't really had any actual health insurance bill before going to the doctor in a long time. I think last time I might have still been here 18, or maybe I was 19 already. I don't know. Either way, I'm 20 now, so yeah. Heck, my doctors, or the doctor I used to go to, thought I like retired and like Jesus, I got a new one already. I haven't actually get to meet the doctor because I don't have health insurance right now. No one knew what was on it. Sorry if it's pretty jarring for me to just talk about casual life and then immediately go to reading dialogue. Yeah, this is something I'll do when I tend to talk to myself a lot because sometimes I'm the only one who will listen to me. I used to talk to my Nana, but she died. World stone actors. There they are. They need to return my studio spandex suit. I don't know if I give something like a Texas. That's not my intent. I forget what the voice was given was, but it wasn't this. Wait, what is... Oh, wait. What is that? I'll just keep watching. The curiosity knocked at someone's door, and the sheet was removed. Amazing, incredible record of a device used in an American hero TV series. Someone plugged in the energy cable, and the machine said its welcome message out loud. Hello, my name is Cerebro. I know what I actually want from him now. I think there's some devious plan. I'm out. I think it's weird how that guy isn't... Like, that dude is actually a boss fight, but, like... I don't exactly remember how you fight him and whatnot, like, when and where you fight him. I've, like, seen people, like, play through, like, almost all the enemies except for, I think, the 6th hero route. I don't think I've seen that one fully completed. But I definitely have actually completed the biker route before. Not on this device, mind you. But like, yeah, just so I think one should exist. We were just looking for a place to set up our studio and record, but now we also have the Cerebro thing to support our story. It's amazing. Yes, this is it. Just ask Rook for this too. Our future fan will love it. Will do. I think you'll be happy when anything including the well. Everyone gather your props at home, and let's meet tomorrow. We have plenty of work to do. So you guys think you know the voices? Oh, and then the Yellow Ranger. That didn't talk that much throughout this cutscene. So a group of friends decided a different path in their lives. Yeah, see how long this road goes. It's gonna be a long path, I'll tell you that. Later that day, the clothes were returned to their old boss. After a few weeks with the contract ready to be signed, woohoo! They finally have everything ready to start recording. New contract for $1,000 conditions. Record season finale after recording 4 episodes. This contract will be cancelled if the number of episodes is 0. I read the conditions. Sorry. Agree, right? Change the name of your studio. Mighty Inc. No. I'll keep the ink because it's sort of incorporated. Our actions is Wisdom Incorporated. Wisdom Incorporated. I always show wisdom, sorry. That is more of an intelligence-based thing, though. Spelling. Okay, so you all think you know the characters? Let's find out. For those of y'all who guessed, we all know I was already planning on making the alien leader. For the assault, I already mentioned I was making that. Mr. Beaver. You guessed for the assistant, I was going to go for Asimo Law. No, and I already told you this was the Kickstarter back here, but you probably never guessed which one. It was Macro Florian. And now for the scout, because I've always talked about it, you guys had less of an ability to name properly guess. It's actually gonna be this one. And if you notice something, this is probably the most diverse you can actually make a team. Of course, it's the only way you can get more diverse. There's only 2 other ways you get diverse. This diverse. First, one, you change Michael Florian out for either Wesley Stripes, or I believe like there's Evan Ty and or Jay Blues, and simultaneously switch maybe out for one like starring them like white female characters, or I guess maybe May or Giram or whatever her name is would work. I don't really know or how to really say that. The character named Wind. He's like the one they've really get, I guess. Maybe no, I think I'll stick. Yeah, also I'm not gonna probably not gonna stick with this color. Here's the blue. Here's the gray. Anyway, there we I mean, in reality, don't. So color, we're gonna change this now to cooler. Wait 1 minute. This guy, 100%. We're gonna remove the numbers and add 1 number. And don't worry, it's gonna be a calculator. Him is redoing now. Beebs is going to become Mr. Beebs. And Danae is going to become. What name did I come up with earlier? Name I was gonna come up with, but I didn't come up with. There's Diane. There's Diane. They know that's the name I came up with. I don't know. Either way, fuck it, we go with it now. And Michael, which is gonna become like. Let's see. How about Diane? Now, see, the thing about like Diane is that it's just like just did died. And these are the things. You're allowed to confirm your squad set. There's no returning back to the save game. No regrets. Here's a save. And that is essentially episode 0. We're gonna go ahead and I'll say we're putting it on. And now we have working. And the game is over. And that's it for what is essentially episode 0. Next week we'll be essentially continuing where we left off after episode 0. Next week will be the actual like episode 1. This is just like tutorial and whatnot. Is there anything up for our characters? That's all for now. Is the Wise Barbarian signing off. Bye bye.